Today, we're going to take Alpha Legion to that next level. Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days. Coming to you from the Beats Lab in Hollywood, California. We're doing it again. Today, we're going to be taking Alpha Legion to that next level. This is Volume 3, the final chapter. Going to show you a few simple tricks that I use to take some of my Chaos models to that next level. We're going to explore a new Rust formula. I'm going to show you some freehand even, and it's going to be a nice wrap up to this project. We got a pretty big announcement over on Twitch. That is the home of the live tutorials. Top D Grand Prix for the next 60 days. June and July, we're giving away more swag than never before. Traditionally, we do top 2 donators get extra swag every show. We're opening it to top 3. The Grand Prix is a grand finals at the end of the month. All those individuals who are the top 3 every stream get entered into a drawing for an epic giveaway. The first month, Forge Bane box set. Fine print? There is no fine print. You can get your name on that list more than once in a month. We draw it at the end of the month along with our mega gift bag and our sub only giveaway. And as a matter of fact, we give away 1 wildcard spot to 1 lucky viewer at the end of the month. Thanks for letting me promote that business stuff real quick. Now let me do a couple of shout outs to a couple of clutch individuals. Let me just say thanks to John, Jared, James, Nicholas, Eric, Tyler, Evan, Mike, Zachary, Jason, Werner, Daniel, Michael, Gundam 5. Yo, I literally can't do without you. Patreon is my personal crowdfunding page. It's how I keep the lights on. Anyway, guys, let's do it. Let's do this thing, guys. Contemptor Dreadnought, that next level, Alpha Legion style. Abaddon Black on deck. We're going to create this scale pattern. It's real simple, guys. You basically just draw a chessboard or a checker pattern, but kind of sideways so they look like diamonds. That's the kind of the secret tech to creating the scales. This works for any kind of scale, Dragon, Alpha Legion, Salamander, whatever you want. So we're just carefully sketching them on. Now I've been known to use a pencil for this process, but I'm confident enough that even if my lines are a little off kilter or a little fat, we're gonna come back in and blend some greens in here and I'll be able to kind of erase any unevenness with the black pretty easily. So just being brave in the Beats Lab, sketching out this pattern. Too easy. Going back and forth, making sure our lines are as strong and straight as possible. Following the curvature of his helmet. That's what makes it fun, is that he's got a nice big round head. So that makes it more interesting. So you got to pay attention to where those lines are going. Too easy. All right, we're going to switch gears, guys. Can't do a project without Necrotite Green in my life. So we're going to take some Necrotite Green, thin it down to a glaze, and we're just going to sort of fill in each one of these new cells we created with a very thin coat of Necrotite Green. Create a nice base for our shades. This is a little too thin to actually start erasing the black lines. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm just trying to give ourselves a highlight inside of each one of these scales methodically. And once we get a nice highlight going, we can begin talking about the shades. So we're going to switch to Exile Blue, one of my favorites, P3. And we're going to create some blends right here. We're going to use the Mobile Wet Palette, aka my left thumb. We're going to mix these 2 colors together, create a nice shadow right here. We're going to take some exploratory stabs at it using the stippling technique. Basically, pointillism. We're not even trying to do strokes at this point. We're just trying to dab in nice little shadows. Looked a little dark, a little aggressive. We're going to reach in for some more Necrotite Green. Keep blending it in. And we're creating shadows at the bottom of each scale and highlights at the top. Now that is backwards, okay? So like normally when I do a scale pattern, it's reversed. The shadow would be at the top, the highlight would be the bottom, making it look like the scales are plated over each other as they go up. This is the reverse. The scales closest to us are the ones on top, where normally it's flipped. Now it's like the head is going backwards. So I'm kind of just channeling like an artichoke in this situation. Now we have done a tutorial in the past where we did it on the shoulder, exactly opposite. That's the effect you want to go for, the big broad parts of the body. But in my mind, like from his head, it would be going backwards. So that's how I'm looking at it, artichoke. So what we're doing right now is we're just cutting in a couple of hard edges, a little bit less water than normal. We're gonna just trace out some of the edges on the helmet like traditional Space Marines do, creating a nice crisp edge, very nice sheen. This whole process is pretty simple once you understand the technique. Now we're gonna use Flash Gets Yellow. We're gonna pop out those highlights. Now we're doing a clean edge highlight, very little water here, trying to control the flow, try to pop them out, make them look their best, make them look as three-dimensional as possible. Too easy. Just use a nice tiny little detailed brush. Should be one and done. So far so good. He's looking solid. You can see that artichoke. All right, pink horror. This is some Citadel paint right here. We're going to use it to highlight his purple eyes by creating a nice little sliver. All along the center, we're going to leave some of it intact. We're not going to repaint them, just add to it. Create some definition here. Rapid fire, we're going to grab some white. This is Hobo White, Slow Fuse Gaming. And we're going to create a nice little sheen, like kind of off to the side on both eyes. Little buckling. Super easy. All right, this is where it gets fun. Cut in a little black. Kind of create a shade. Cut it back in opposite quarter of those little highlights we just created. Nice little shadow. We're kind of assuming it's a nice jeweled effect. We're going to take some more pure white and just drop a little dot in the middle of the black that we just did. And it's going to give us a nice lens effect on the eye there. Now he looks super menacing. Love this cat. All right, scale 75, heavy metal. We're taking this model to that next level. We're not done yet. We're going to edge highlight some of the silver because this is all just heavy metal with a wash. And now we're going to find some of those clutch edges and just kind of create a new shine. We're not going to go crazy. We're just using the same color we started with, but the wash made it a little bit more dark. So this is going to be the natural highlight. It's going to give us a nice fresh dimension to the model. We're going to just hit everything. 1-2 strokes. Keep moving. Not going to linger here. Really helps create contrast and definition. Okay, here we go. New color. Infernal orange. This is that new P3 style. This might be the new rust. We're thinning it down using actually a little Vallejo flow improver. A little flow aid, I guess. We're thinning it down to ridiculously thin levels, and we're just treating it exactly like a selective wash. We're putting it right where we want. We want it to get into those crevices. It's going to dry, get a little bit more muted as it dries. Anywhere you let it build up inside of a metal on metal contact area, it's going to stay a little bit brighter. This is actually my new favorite rust color. It's better than RZA Rust. Just a little bit of flow improver or flow aid or anything you got in your Beats Lab, and you're creating a nice rust. Just some selective pin washing. It's going to find its way into all the crevices. It's going to dry very natural. It's going to look its best. Very easy. Now, we're not going crazy. He is chaos, but he's a relic of the past. But he is Alpha Legion, so I feel like they're a little bit better at maintenance, a little bit less dirty. So, but we do want there to, show age, show chaos, bring that love. Just a little bit more of an interest to it. If the metal has some weathering or some damage to it, I like that. We're just finding every little spot that makes sense. Metal on metal, two pieces touching each other. And like I said, it looks real vibrant as you lay it down, but as it dries, it gets a little bit more muted. Pretty simple. This is that next level. Super easy. The one and done 3-part series, guys. Look how fresh this Contemptor Dreadnought came out. Remember, be brave in the Beats Lab. Anyway, play on, players.